So, hello and welcome back to Las Vegas. We're here on the second day of the 2016 ICCE, International Conference on Consumer Electronics, and we've just had the morning keynote from Petronel Bigioi from FotoNation. Petronel has kindly agreed to answer a few questions regarding his presentation, and well, let's see where it takes us. So, first of all, good morning and thanks for an interesting presentation.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay. Now, Petronel, you began your presentation by explaining that mobile phone cameras have reached nearly the quality of standalone DSLR cameras. What does that mean in going forward? Do we need increasing resolution, or do we need other things?
It is only my opinion that increasing resolution probably won't necessarily get us any more further. Increasing resolution will have no benefits really on the mobile phone because of the diffraction limit. The sensors as we have today, there are large resolution sensors with below one micron kind of pitch, and that pretty much is the diffractive limit for the visible light. So there is no point increasing the resolution. We won't get anything more.
Thanks. Now, you mentioned diffraction limit in the presentation. Perhaps you could explain to the layperson what that means and what the implications are.
Well, it's got to do with what the optics can do in terms of resolving the objects onto the sensor plane. Every lens has a limitation that is fundamentally driven by the diameter of the lens and by some other things there. Primarily the point, the capability to focus a point from the object plane to a point onto the actual sensor plane, it cannot go beyond the actual pitch of the sensor. It's very simply put. So if you put more pixels to actually capture the same dot, it's no point, because you won't really get any more resolution, real resolution in the image. Of course, you'll get number of pixels, but not real resolution.
Thanks. During the presentation, you explained the challenges that arise every time you go from one resolution to the next higher resolution, and the key one, if I understood correctly, was memory bandwidth is always the challenge. Does this mean if we already have enough resolution now, does that mean that we don't need to solve that problem anymore because we're going to stay at one resolution and that the challenges are going to move elsewhere?
Not necessarily. There would be other type of needs that you need to solve. Computational photography, understand more about what is in the image, requires a lot of memory transfers. Having multiple optical path cameras requires 2 times, 3 times. There are companies showing various type of configurations for stereo cameras, or one stereo, one near IR, or for improving various parts of imaging, either low light capabilities or measuring the third dimension depth, or God knows what will come around the world, the corner. So
I'm glad you brought that up, because multiple cameras. Why would we want to have multiple cameras on the same camera phone?
Multiple reasons. Well, first of all, we do, the OEMs don't, but they have to differentiate somehow. It will increase the bill of material, it will increase the cost. This is something that doesn't go down well in the mobile phone industry. However, in order to differentiate, there are loads of imaging. When I gave my talk, I also mentioned that in good light, right? In good light, image quality is pretty much there, similar the kind of capabilities as DSLR. And when we're talking about picturing an object, of course there are many other things that DSLR can do and the mobile phone cannot do. For instance, depth of field. Depth of field is something that cannot be reproduced with the mobile phone without heavy computational optics and actually measuring with high degree of precision the depth. So you can recreate the same type of effect as the DSLR lens, right? So mobile phone cannot compensate for for the lack of big optics with anything else but processing power. Nobody wants to carry around a DSLR kind of lens or a DSLR kind of sensor. So bokeh effects are one thing that needs to be improved. Image quality in low light is another thing that needs to be improved. The difference between a camera sensor, a DSLR sensor, and an actual mobile phone sensor is very big. Like a camera sensor is around 6 micrometers kind of pitch, while the mobile phone sensor is somewhere around 1 micrometer. What does it mean? It means that the actual mobile phone sensor, and this is on one dimension, meaning it's a quadratic, it's an exponential type of relationship, meaning that the mobile phone captures several orders of magnitude less light into the same pixel as the DSLR. That has immediate consequences into the image quality in low light situations. So low light improvements have to be done. How? Having multiple camera arrays capturing the same scene is one possibility. Another possibility to actually increase the real resolution of the beyond the diffractive limit is to actually use multiple cameras array as well and combine them with the idea that each of them will sample some other part of the image space and combine them in one single output resolution with the higher resolution, output image with the higher resolution. So there are many reasons why different configurations than just single camera will emerge on the market.
I think I understood most of that, but I still don't quite see the connection between adding additional cameras to a phone, a camera phone, how these are used to get these better effects or to deal with difficult situations.
So let's say 2 cameras forms with a stereo baseline forms a stereoscopic device similar to what you see with your eyes, processing the pixels and basically registering each pixel with regards to the other. You can extract depth from the stereo. This depth can actually be used to enhance the bokeh effects capabilities of the camera. So basically you can render the background blur and leave the person sharp, or the other way around, things that you can do simply by moving playing with the optics in the DSLR camera. Another aspect is that you have 2 cameras picturing the same scene. 2 times more light comes into the imaging system, so then basically the image signal processor can take advantage of that and create better low light image from the 2 cameras by combining the 2. Of course, there are some issues to deal with, like parallax effects and stuff like that, but this will fade away as you go further away from the camera.
Okay, all clear. And finally, what new features can consumers look forward to in coming years?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Well, obviously you saw the amount of drones out there. You saw the amounts of cars out there. Obviously, we have to work pretty hard to improve the capabilities of the camera to understand what's around it. It is my firm belief that the understanding has to happen closer to the camera and not further away. In other words, I think the image understanding in the camera age, I think that's referred to as processing on the edge, will actually come into the mainstream. Camera will become smarter. Face recognition will basically be deployed in the next several years in all of the imaging devices. I think the computer vision, the neural networks type of approach has become pretty polyvalent everywhere, and it does work. Now it's a matter of deploying it with the right power consumption in the actual camera. So we basically work on solutions like that, very close to finalizing high performance face recognition that runs only in the device, no connection to the cloud whatsoever. So I think that can qualify as one of the new things that we will see in the cameras. I believe that there will be also a lot more emphasis on multiple cameras, so enlarge the actual capabilities of the device, either as a time-of-flight stereo camera or some other combinations to measure the 3rd dimension. Depth is very important, and once you have the depth, then you can do a lot of computational photography effects, and this is also something that we focus on.
Very good. Well, that concludes our interview today. It just remains for me to say thank you very much to Petronel Bigioi from FotoNation, and that's goodbye from us in Las Vegas.